It happened. The Republicans have finally touched the stove. They passed their budget bill, somehow managing to round up all their incompetence to get it passed. And we can only hope that the consequences push this country back in the right direction. But what are the consequences? First off, huge Medicare cuts. 13.7 million people are expected to lose coverage, primarily the poor and elderly. That being Republican voters. Their own voters are the ones being harmed the most from touching the stove. And not just that, rural hospitals. Over 300 of them are at risk and expected to possibly close as a result of these cuts. Again, Republican voters are the ones being hurt by Republican. And it's not just people losing coverage or access. We're talking about fewer doctors, fewer resources, worse coverage, more expensive coverage. So even when people are able to get resources from now on, it's going to be worse for everybody. And these consequences are going to hit the rest of the United States. What's going to happen when these people are sick and they can't get coverage, they can't work, and they can't participate in the economy? That's going to hurt everybody else. Not just Republicans, unfortunately, not just the voters who voted for this. It's going to hurt all of us. And where is this money going? It's going to the only place Republicans care about: tax cuts for the rich. Unless you're making above $150,000, you're going to be paying more in taxes. And that money's going directly into the pockets of Trump, Bezos, Musk, and Zuckerberg. Everybody's favorite cadre of idiots. This is a government for rich assholes by rich assholes. And you're the ones paying for it. You and your kids are going to be paying for it when the debt for this comes due. We're running the biggest deficit in United States history. It will last for generations and destabilize our country. And what is it for? It's to give the rich people more money because they're the ones who need it most. And where's this money going? It's going to huge budgets for ICE, everybody's favorite organization. ICE is receiving over $180 billion from this legislation. That's more than the Marines, that's more than the entire CIA. It's more than a lot of small countries get. And what is ICE using this money for? Why, they're using it to deport celebrities. We may remember a while ago when famous TikToker KB Lame was threatened with deportation and ended up self-deporting. Or just today when famous boxer Julio Chavez Jr. was arrested and is planning to be deported by ICE. But it's not just the rich and famous. It's also children with cancer, their parents, people go to church, the elderly, anybody so unlucky to look brown around ICE. And this is only going to get worse. They recently started setting up concentration camps in the Florida Everglades, surrounded by alligators, being flooded by the swamps. Concentration camps. That's where we're at. And that's just temporary holding before they can send them to the worst concentration camps in El Salvador, or whatever other dictator they're planning to ship these people off to. And don't think you're safe. Because Trump is already planning to denaturalize US citizens and deport US citizens to prison camps in other countries. This will happen to US citizens. It will happen to anybody who disagrees with Trump, anybody who speaks out. Let's remember, he just threatened to deport the Democratic nominee for the mayor of New York. If it can happen to the mayor of New York, it can happen to anybody. No one is safe. Where do we go from here? How do we make our country somewhere worth living in and worth being proud of again? We need to organize, specifically young people, need to stand up and start participating state and local level. We need to take back power. We need to take back judges. We need to take back state legislators. We need to take back governors so that when Trump comes, we have the states on our side to make sure we have power behind us and we aren't just waiting in the streets for them to mop us up. And beyond that, we need to make positive communities. Places where anybody can come in, anybody can participate, as long as they're willing to stand up for democracy and human rights. If we can make these things, we can fix what's wrong with the United States. As Bill Clinton once said, there is nothing so wrong with the United States that can't be fixed with what's good with it.